Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie launched his primary campaign tonight in Manchester, New Hampshire, and aimed it straight at the former president.
A lonely, self-consumed, self-serving mirror hog is not a leader. Well, let me be clear, in case I have not been already. The person I am talking about, who is obsessed with the mirror, who never admits a mistake, who never admits a fault, and who always finds someone else and something else to blame for whatever goes wrong, but finds every reason to take credit for anything that goes right, is Donald Trump. And if we don't have that conversation with you, we don't deserve to ask for your vote. We don't deserve the mantle of leadership. We don't deserve to have you think of us as people worthy of leadership.
As former Governor Christie tonight, he has famously had a bumpy history with the former president. He was sharply critical during the 2016 primaries, then dropped out, re-entered the fold as a born-again Trump supporter, then broke with him again after January 6. Here's a sampling of some of the tough words he's had for the former president in the 2016 race and the run-up to tonight.
He gets criticized. He can't take it. He sits in his jammies in Trump Tower and phones in.
I'm happy to take any observations he has, even if he can only do them in 140 characters or less.
When you say that it is patriotic to suspend the Constitution if you believe the election is being stolen from you, that person is disqualified, in my view, from being president of the United States again. We keep losing and losing and losing. And the fact of the matter is, the reason we're losing is because Donald Trump has put himself before everybody else.
Well, the question now, and it's no longer academic, how will he turn that critique into primary votes? Joining us tonight, CNN political commentator, former Obama special advisor Van Jones, former Georgia Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, also CNN chief political analyst Gloria Borger. Gloria, what does Governor Christie believe his lane in this race is?
Well, we always ask about these lanes, and I was talking to a senior advisor to Christie and asked him that exact question, and he said Chris's lane is going through Trump. It is the only way someone can win. And as you saw today, what Chris Christie did was take him on frontally, which, quite frankly, the other candidates are not yet doing in a way that Chris Christie is doing it. Remember how he took on Marco Rubio in 2016 in that infamous debate and kind of destroyed him? He may have destroyed Marco Rubio, but he also destroyed himself in the process. And I think that's a little bit of the danger here, because he's not really popular with the Republican electorate at this point. So he has to ingratiate himself to Republicans while taking on their favorite soldier.
Lieutenant Governor Duncan, do you think he has a lane?
Yeah, I certainly do. I mean, what I heard tonight was somebody who wants to win but not afraid to lose. I think that's a dangerous combination for somebody like Donald Trump to have to face that type of music. I think Chris Christie needs to stick to the script that he was a two-time governor in a blue state. He's been a Republican longer than Donald Trump ever has. I think he needs to stick to that script and continue to hammer it.
It's interesting, Van, because Chris Christie has pushed against this notion that he's simply going to attack Donald Trump in the primary. He says he wouldn't run if he didn't believe he could actually win this thing.
He's got the same chance of getting the Republican nomination as he has getting the Democratic nomination. I mean, he has no support in that party that could even rival some of the people who are in the single digits. So, but I think it's important for the country that he's doing it. I think it's important for the country that somebody with his backbone and courage does challenge the president. It's been remarkable to me to see someone like Donald Trump, who lost the White House, lost the midterms, basically be able to skate by even people who want to be president are scared to say anything bad about him. So I think it's good for the country, but his chance of getting the nomination in this party, he has about the same chance of getting a nomination in this party as he does the Green Party or any other party. No, zero.
Gloria, Christie's relationship with the former president has obviously been a roller coaster. Does that give him a credibility problem with voters?
Yeah, I think it obviously does. I mean, we all remember that he was prepping Donald Trump for the debate when he famously caught COVID after that debate, and he was supporting Donald Trump, and then he turned on him after January 6th, and his advisors said to me, look, we're going to make that distinction that after January 6th, Chris Christie could no longer support Donald Trump. But there is a flip side to this, Anderson, which is he's out there already saying, I know Donald Trump better than most of you, so I can testify firsthand about what kind of human being he is and what kind of president he would be if he's elected this next time. So it kind of works both ways, but he does have to get over that hump of why were you so close to him and now you hate him.
Do you think, Lieutenant Governor, do you think the race, that there are too many candidates already?
Well, look, I'm one of those Republicans. I said this earlier today. I'm excited to see qualified candidates show up, and I think we've got to put our best foot forward. You know, I'm just also one of those Republicans that think the weight of gravity is going to catch up to Donald Trump. I mean, he's going to have 3 or 4 indictments that are going to be wrapped around him all the way through this entire process, and I think we've got to have somebody who's qualified and ready to go.
Right, but even with 3 or 4 indictments, if you got a whole bunch of candidates who divide up vote, you know, of those who don't want Trump, and Trump has a base of 30, 35%, isn't that inevitable?
It's a math problem, but you're never going to limit this field out of the gates for 3 or 4, you know, candidates. So you're going to have a whole slew of them, and you're going to have cream rise at the top. I think a guy like Chris Christie, I think Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, these are qualified candidates that could legitimately win a nomination. But you got to have Donald Trump fall apart, and I think that's possible.
Van, the problem is, I mean, cream rises to the top, but the froth stays around for a long time. You know, like some people can run with no money and just keep showing up.
Well, I mean, if you look at what happened in the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders was getting out front, scared the jeepers out of everybody. As soon as one person got ahead, which was Biden, everybody just dropped out. And so there is at least an example in the modern context of a party coming to its senses. You know, I love Bernie Sanders, who doesn't, but people in the party didn't feel like he should be the standard bearer. Biden won, and then Cory Booker dropped out, everybody else dropped out. Somebody's got to beat Donald Trump in one of these races, and whoever that person is could make a credible case. The rest of you guys get out of my way, let me go one-on-one, but nobody's going to drop out before somebody's actually put a win on the scoreboard.
Gloria, I mean, the first Republican primary debate is in August. Do you think Christie has enough time to qualify between then and now? And also, would he commit to the RNC rule of supporting the eventual Republican nominee?
I think that's a good question, and it's unanswered right now. They refuse to answer that. I think Chris Christie, it's a high bar for him. He's not popular right now in the Republican Party, but he has to get on that debate stage. He has to be able to take on Donald Trump if Donald Trump participates. Remember, Donald Trump is saying, you know, why would I show up if I've got such a large percentage of the vote? He needs to go mano a mano with Donald Trump, and I, right now, can't see how he's going to get to do that. I don't think Trump wants to share a debate stage with him. That would be pretty toxic to watch.
All right, appreciate it all.